各位网友，大家好啊！今天是2019年的6月4号。那么我们在这个今年64的美国国会举行的活动这个现场呢，看到一幅画，上面有南希·佩洛西当年在天安门广场啊，还有这个另外2个人啊，在那儿这个做这个纪念活动。那现在呢，我们请这个陈先生给大家讲一讲这幅画和当年他在64都做过什么，以及这幅画的意义。有请陈先生。
因为当年在那个时候，1989年发生6月4号发生这个64或这个事情以后，那个时候我还比较小，在读书啊，因为我们当地也看不到一些真实的新闻，什么媒体也看不到。因为那时候我们连电视也没有，那么只有县城里面呢有些人家里呢有黑白电视，那么有些我们村里人呢比较富裕的人呢跑到县城里去看了以后回来呢，他们当时就说那个时候有很多大学生在北京现场杀掉的那个镜头都放出来，那个北京电视台都放出来播放出来，有很多学生被打死、杀死或烧掉那个时候是镜头他们说比较真实。那后来就是说的新闻是他们说是放出来是假的，说没有被打死是假的。那么这个事情后来我就一直深深的埋藏心里，这一个疑惑，一个疑问。那来到美国以后呢，后来发觉这个64的情况那时候是真实的，很多学生被打死，那么被坦克压死都是真实的，开枪还有等等。那么发觉以后就在美国就是能够知道一些中国的一些真实的情况。那当时在中国我们很多媒体都是封闭式的，并不知道。那所以来到美国这个民主自由国家呢，我们就是知道中国的共产党当年的一些真相。所以呢，我就画了这幅油画，关于64的南希·佩洛西的画像。他当年就是说去了，他第2年去了北京，那么参加这个。就是说送了一批横幅，就是献给中国为民主事业而牺牲的烈士，他送来这么一个横批。那么所以我在网络上面找到这幅画，我就把它给画下来。那么我感觉这幅画可以作为一个流传下去，就是说以北京天安门为背景的那些大学生作为背景的一个题材。那么前面是南希·佩洛西是代表一个外国的高官关注着我们中国的民主，所以我就把它这个组合起来一幅画。那么就是作为一个传承，就是希望大家就是要记住中国曾经发生过这个事情。那么现在就是说80后、90后的孩子并不知道当年的中国发生这个事情，因为包括我是70后的，我之前也不知道，但是看不到真实的新闻后来也是听别人很多人说。那么这个事情，那么来到美国以后才知道是事情的真相。我们看到 YouTube 很多都是真实的。
先举的那个画就是
对，
那您走过去，您给大家介绍一下。
It is my great honor to be here with each and every one of you. An honor for all of us to be with our heroes of Tiananmen Square. So many who are gathered here, Don and others. Thank you. Wei Jin Chang, so many heroes. And so it was that Marion Smith, thank you, and thank you to the victims of communism. Thank you to Tiananmen Square moms who are present with their words and present in spirit to remember the tragic chapter of the past. Today we remember the horror of the massacre in Tiananmen Square and the heroism of the Tiananmen Square protesters. We must remember because China still tries to deny these heroes their history. As the writer Liu Chun wrote, lies written in ink cannot disguise facts written in blood. 2 years after the massacre, Democrats and Republicans, a group of us, went to China on a human rights visit, and we unfurled a black and white banner reading in Tiananmen Square, to those who died for democracy. We were chased by police and the PLO and the PLA and the rest. There we are. The PLA then was coming down the steps that come after us there. We had to run. It was a question of who could run the fastest. But in any event, we must realize that what the Chinese did that day is a challenge to the conscience of the world. We cannot ignore that challenge. We must face it, and we must face what the Chinese are doing to the Uyghurs in China today. Any folks here from the Uyghur community? We are with you in that respect. Thank you. Shi, I met him when he was 21 years old. That was 30 years ago. Well, I'm not going to do the math on that. He was one of the first dissidents to come to the United States to testify before a committee organized by Congressman Tom Lantos. It was an historic day for the Congress to welcome this brave, courageous leader of pro-democratic reform to the Congress of the United States. Little did we know that 30 years later we would still be having to make this fight. So in any event, we talked about the Uyghurs already, and then the protesters in Hong Kong seeking their freedoms. And aren't we proud of their courageous outpouring yesterday for us, today for us, but yesterday for them, that outpouring of support for the democracy protesters. The Tibetan people whose religion, culture, and language is under threat by the Chinese government. And the journalists, human rights activists, lawyers, Christians, and democracy activists persecuted without justice. It's very brave of those people in Hong Kong today because, as you know, the Chinese want to put a law in the books that would extradite any of the people that whose actions they're not happy with. And that jeopardizes tens of thousands of Americans who are in Hong Kong as well. In honor of all those who died for democracy in Tiananmen Square and around the world, we pledge to preserve their memory and to continue their fight. I'm so proud to have heard the words of my colleague, Congressman Levin of Michigan, who was in Tiananmen Square, who took his own photographs and has his own memories of what happened there. And so it is with great pride that we have a renewed spirit in the Congress as we observe the 30th anniversary. As a tribute to the courage, we are humbled to dedicate a statue here today. I see prisoner of conscience Wang Jingzhao. You know, one of the things the Chinese government likes to say, and I hope they can hear me from here, Chinese government, you may be in the crowd, you may be down the street, but I want you to hear what I have to say. You can tell the prisoners all you want that we don't remember them or know why they are imprisoned, but we do. And every chance we get, we want to mention their names on the floor of the Congress, outside the Capitol, and on any of our messages to the Chinese government. We believe there should be a great future between the United States and China. We believe that the Chinese people have a craving for democratic reform that is up to them to decide, and they should not be mowed over in a tank because they speak out for their own beliefs about freedom of expression. I want to join my colleague, Congressman from New Jersey, Chris Smith, who said we're either for the man before the tank or we're for the man who ordered the tanks on the kids. We're for the man before the tank. I think we can all agree on that. So thank you. Thank you for remembering. Thank you for honoring. Thank you for being here to enable us all to speak in a strong voice that we will remember, we will not forget, we will always be in awe of those who had the courage to speak for freedom. And now I guess we're going to have a sermon. Thank you all very much. It's an honor to be with you.